Hello, friends. Welcome back to Catchy English. I'm Emma, and today we begin a very exciting journey together. Let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever wanted to explain something in English, but you didn't know what words to use? Maybe you tried to describe your hometown, a person you met, or even the taste of your favorite food. But then you stopped searching for words, feeling stuck. That's exactly why this topic is so important. If you learn how to describe anything in English, you will never run out of words in a conversation. You will always have something to say, and people will understand you more clearly. Describing is the key skill that makes your English come alive. Think about it. When you talk to a friend, you don't just give short answers. You don't just say, "My city is nice." Instead, you can expand. My city is beautiful. It's full of tall buildings, but also green parks. At night, the streets are bright with lights, and there is always music in the air. Do you see the difference? By adding details, you make your English more colorful, more natural, and more interesting. In this series, we are going to practice exactly that. Step by step, you will learn how to describe people, objects, places, emotions, and experiences. I will give you simple structures, useful words, and practical examples. You will also get tips to make your descriptions clear, natural, and even impressive. So let's begin with the basics. When you describe something in English, the first step is to look at it carefully. Ask yourself, what do I see? What do I feel? What is special about it? For example, imagine you are holding a cup of coffee. You can start with its appearance. It's a small white cup with a round handle. Then you move to the smell. It smells strong and rich, with a hint of sweetness. Next, the taste. It tastes slightly bitter, but smooth and warm. And finally, you can describe your feeling. This coffee makes me feel awake and ready for the day. See how simple it is. You don't need to use difficult words. You just need to look, feel, and then share your experience in English. Here's another example. Imagine you meet a new person. Instead of only saying, "She is nice," you can expand your description. She is a friendly woman in her 30s. She has long black hair and a warm smile. Her voice is soft, and she makes you feel comfortable when you talk to her. That's much more powerful, isn't it? Now, let me give you a very useful formula to describe anything. 1. Start with general information. What is it? Who is it? Where is it? Example. This is my neighborhood. 2. Add physical details. What does it look like? What colors, shapes, or sizes? Example. It's a small neighborhood with narrow streets and colorful houses. 3. Add sensory details. What can you hear, smell, taste, or touch? Example. In the morning, you can smell fresh bread from the bakery. You hear children playing in the streets. 4. Add personal feelings or opinions. How does it make you feel? What do you think about it? Example. I love living here because it feels warm and friendly. If you follow this 4-step formula, you will always be able to describe anything clearly and naturally. So here's a little challenge for you. Right now, look around you. Pick one object near you. It could be your phone, your chair, or even a window. Try to describe it in English using the formula. Start general, add physical details, add sensory details. and finally share your feelings about it. The more you practice, the more fluent you will become. And remember, describing things is not only about words. It's about sharing your world with others. When you describe something well, you invite people into your experience. They can see what you see, feel what you feel, and understand you better. This is only the beginning. In the next part, we will dive deeper into describing people, their appearance, personality, and even small details that make your English sound natural and real. Stay with me, because once you master this skill, you will be able to make every conversation interesting and unforgettable. Now, let's start with something very simple. The best way to learn how to describe anything in English is to begin with everyday objects. These are things you see and touch every day: your phone, your bag, a cup, or even your shoes. When you describe something, focus on three main parts: what it is, what it looks like, and how it makes you feel. This will give your listener a clear picture in their mind. For example, let's take a cup. What it is, it's a cup. What it looks like, it's small, round, and white. How it makes you feel. It feels warm when I hold it because it's full of coffee. See, that's already a description. It doesn't have to be complicated. Let's try another example of phone. What it is, this is my phone. What it looks like, it's black thin and has a big screen. How it makes you feel, it's very useful and I feel lost without it. When you describe objects, you don't need difficult vocabulary. Even simple words like big, small, heavy, light, beautiful, old, new are powerful when used correctly. The important thing is to organize your description in a clear order. A good tip is to use the phrase "it is" and "it has." It is small and light. It has a shiny screen. This structure helps you sound natural and confident. Let's do one more practice together. A bag. It is brown and leather. It has one big pocket and two small ones. I feel comfortable carrying it because it's not too heavy. Now you see how simple it can be. When you practice, try picking 3 or 4 objects around you right now. Look at them and describe them using the formula. What it is, what it looks like, how it feels or how you use it. The more you practice this, the more natural your English will become. And slowly, you will be able to describe more complex things, not just objects. Now that you know how to describe objects, let's move on to places. Places are all around us. Your home, your favorite cafe, your school, or even the park near your house. Describing places in English is very useful because people often ask about where you live, where you went on vacation, or what your hometown is like. When you describe a place, think about 4 key points: what it is, where it is, what it looks like, how it makes you feel. Let's start with something simple: a room. For example, my bedroom. What it is, it's my bedroom. Where it is, it's on the 2nd floor of my house. What it looks like, it's small but cozy with white walls and a big window. How it makes me feel, I feel relaxed there because it's quiet and comfortable. Do you see how this creates a picture in your mind? Even with simple words, the description feels complete. Now let's try another example. A park. What it is, it's a park near my house. Where it is, it's in the center of my town. What it looks like, it's big and green, with tall trees, wide paths, and a small lake in the middle. How it makes me feel. I feel happy and peaceful when I walk there. Notice how I always follow the same order. This helps me organize my thoughts and speak clearly. Here are some useful words you can use to describe places. Big, small, modern, old, busy, quiet, beautiful, crowded, peaceful, colorful, clean, dirty, cozy, comfortable. Now imagine you are describing your school or workplace. You can say, it is a large building with many classrooms. It has a big library and a sports field. It feels lively and full of energy. Or if it's your office, it is modern and bright. It has many computers and big glass windows. Sometimes it feels busy, but it's also exciting. The secret is this: don't worry about using perfect words. Just focus on simple, clear language. Even beginners can make good descriptions if they use the right order and some basic adjectives. Here's a tip. If you forget a word, use another way to describe it. For example, if you forget the word balcony, you can say, it's a small space outside the room where you can stand and look at the street. This is still a good description, and your listener will understand. So practice describing the places around you: your kitchen, your school, your favorite shop. Remember to answer the 4 questions. What is it? Where is it? What does it look like? How does it make you feel? That's how you train your brain to describe any place in English. Let's keep going with our journey to learn how to describe anything in English. Today, we will talk about one of the most powerful tools you can use: comparisons. Think about it. When you want to describe something, sometimes it's difficult to find the exact words. But if you compare it to something else, the listener immediately understands. For example, instead of saying, the bag is big, you can say, the bag is as big as a pillow. This gives a much clearer picture. Comparisons make your English more interesting, more colorful, and easier for other people to understand. Let's look at a few ways you can use them. 1. One of the easiest ways is to use the word like. Her voice is like music. The cake tastes like chocolates. He runs like the wind. When you use like, you make your listener think of something they already know. This helps them imagine exactly what you mean. 2. Using as another common structure is as. For example, this phone is as light as a feather. The room is as cold as ice. She is as busy as a bee. These expressions are strong because they connect your description to something familiar. Even if your English is simple, the image becomes very clear. 3. Using similar to and different from. Sometimes you want to show that something is close to another thing, but not exactly the same. This color is similar to the sky at sunset. Her accent is different from mine. This helps your listener compare 2 ideas in their mind. 4. Using famous images. Comparisons can also use well-known things from culture or nature. For example, the mountain looks like a sleeping giant. His handwriting is as neat as a printed book. Her smile is like sunshine. These comparisons are powerful because almost everyone understands them right away. A short exercise. Let's practice together. Imagine you want to describe the night sky. Instead of just saying, the sky is dark, you can say the sky is as dark as black velvet, and the stars shine like diamonds. See how much stronger it becomes. Now it feels like a picture, not just words. Tip for learners. When you practice describing things, don't just use plain adjectives. Try to connect them with something your listener already knows. If you are talking about food, compare it to another taste. If you are talking about a sound, compare it to something people have heard before. For example, instead of "the soup is hot," you can say "the soup is as hot as fire." That's more exciting and memorable. By using comparisons, your English will sound more natural and engaging. People will want to listen to you because your words create strong images in their minds. In the next part, we will explore how to describe things using the 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. This is another secret to describing anything in English. Now, let's move on to describing how things feel. When you touch something, what words can you use? This is called texture. For example, this blanket is soft. The floor is hard. The sand is rough. The glass is smooth. These words are very useful when you want to make your description more real. Imagine you are telling your friend about a new sweater. If you only say "it's nice," it's not very clear. But if you say "it's soft and warm," your friend can imagine it better. Another way to describe things is by talking about temperature. We don't always need numbers. We can say, "The tea is hot." "The water is cold." "The weather is warm." "The ice cream is freezing." These simple words help people picture exactly what you mean. Now let's practice describing taste and smell. When you eat something, don't just say "delicious." You can try words like sweet, yanji, sour, bitter, salty, spicy. For smell, you can say "it smells fresh." "It smells strong." "It smells sweet." "It smells bad." Let's try an example together. If I give you a piece of chocolate, how can you describe it? You can say "it is sweet, smooth, and delicious." If I give you a lemon, you can say "it is yellow, sour, and fresh." See how these small words make your description powerful. With practice, you can describe anything around you more clearly. Now, let's talk about describing people. When we describe someone, we usually start with their appearance. This means what they look like. For example, we can talk about height. She is tall. He is short. We can talk about body size. She is slim. He is strong. We can talk about hair. She has long black hair. He has short brown hair. And we can talk about eyes. She has big green eyes. He has small blue eyes. These are simple sentences, but they paint a clear picture in your listener's mind. Next, we can describe clothes. For example, she is wearing a red dress. He is wearing a white shirt and black pants. If you want to be more detailed, add adjectives. She is wearing a beautiful red dress. He is wearing a clean white shirt and old black pants. Notice how just adding 1 or 2 adjectives changes the whole picture. But describing people is not only about looks. We can also talk about their personality, the way they act or think. For examples, she is kind and friendly. He is quiet but smart. She is funny and cheerful. He is serious and hardworking. When you combine appearance and personality, you make a complete description. Let's try an example together. She is tall and slim. She has long black hair and big brown eyes. She is wearing a beautiful blue dress. She is kind and friendly. Now you can imagine this person, right? That's the power of description. Now let's practice describing places. When you describe a place, think about these points: size, location, atmosphere, and details. First, the size. Is it big or small, for example? My room is small. The park is very large. Second, the location. Where is it? My house is near the river. The cafe is in the city center. Third, the atmosphere. How does it feel? The library is quiet. The beach is lively and noisy. Finally, add some details to make your description clear. You can describe colors, furniture, or special features. For example, my room is small but cozy. It has a wooden desk, a soft bed, and a big window. The park is large and beautiful. There are many tall trees, green grass, and colorful flowers. If you want to make your description stronger, use adjectives for feelings. The restaurant is warm and welcoming. The office feels cold and empty. Here's a complete example. My favorite cafe is small but very cozy. It is near my school. The walls are light brown and the chairs are soft. The atmosphere is quiet and the smell of coffee makes me feel happy. Do you see how this makes a picture in your mind? That is how you describe a place in English. Now, let's practice describing objects and things. When you describe an object, you can use 4 main steps: size, shape, color, and use. First, the size. Is it big, small, long, short, heavy, or light, for example? The box is small and light. The suitcase is big and heavy. Second, the shape. Is it round, square, rectangular, or maybe irregular? The table is rectangular. The ball is round. Third, the color. Colors always make a description stronger. The car is red. The phone is black and shiny. Fourth, the use. What do we use it for? A pen is used for writing. A chair is for sitting. Now let's put it all together. This pen is small and light. It is blue and white. It has a round shape and is used for writing. Here's another example. The box is big and heavy. It is square and brown. People use it for carrying things. When you add details, your listener or reader can see the object clearly in their mind. Try to practice with objects around you right now. Look at your phone, your bag, or even your cup. Describe the size, the shape, the color, and the use. This way, you can describe almost anything in English easily. Now, let's practice describing feelings and emotions. This is very important because in daily life, we often need to talk about how we feel. First, let's look at some common positive feelings. Happy, excited, relaxed, proud, confident. For example, I feel happy because I passed my test. She is excited about her new job. He looks relaxed after his holiday. Next, some negative feelings. Sad, nervous, angry, tired, lonely. For example, he feels sad because he lost his wallet. I am nervous before my presentation. They are tired after working all day. When you describe emotions, you can also add reasons. This makes your English more natural and clear. For example, I am proud because I finished my project. She is angry because the bus was late. You can also describe emotions using body language. He is smiling, so he looks happy. She is crossing her arms, so she seems angry. They are yawning, so they look tired. Here's a tip: use the phrases I feel. He looks, or she seems, when talking about emotions. Now let's practice together. Look at yourself right now. How do you feel? Maybe I feel tired but relaxed. Or I feel excited to learn English. The more you practice describing your emotions, the easier it will be to connect with others in English. Now, let's practice describing places. This is very useful because we often talk about our home, our city, or places we visit. When you describe a place, you can talk about 4 main things. Size, is it big or small? Appearance, what does it look like? Atmosphere, how does it feel there? Purpose, what do people do there? Let's start with size. The park is very big. My bedroom is small but comfortable. Next, appearance. There are tall buildings in the city. The beach has white sand and clear water. Now, the atmosphere. The cafe feels cozy and quiet. The stadium is noisy and exciting. And finally, the purpose: people go to the library to study. Tourists visit the museum to learn about history. You can also connect these ideas into one full description. For example, my town is small but very beautiful. It has clean streets, friendly people, and a calm atmosphere. Many visitors come to enjoy the local food. Or the shopping mall is huge and modern. It is always busy and full of energy. People go there to shop, eat, and spend time with friends. Here's a tip. When describing places, use adjectives for details. Words like quiet, busy, colorful, crowded, peaceful, modern, traditional make your description more interesting. Now, let's try a quick practice together. Think about your favorite place. How would you describe it? You might say, my favorite place is the beach. It is wide and sunny with blue water and soft sand. The atmosphere is calm, and I go there to relax. That's how you can bring any place to life in English. Now, let's talk about how to describe experiences and events. This is very important because English is not only about objects and places, it's also about sharing what happened to you. When you describe an event or experience, you can follow a simple structure. When and where it happened. What happened step by step. How you felt during the experience. Why it was important or memorable. Let's see some examples. First, a concert last weekend. I went to a concert in the city. The music was loud and the lights were colorful. I danced with my friends and felt very excited. It was one of the best nights of my life. Second, a birthday party. Yesterday, I joined my friend's birthday party at her house. We ate cake, played games, and took many photos. Everyone was happy, and I felt really grateful to be there. Third, a travel experience. 2 years ago, I visited Japan. I saw beautiful temples, tasted delicious food, and met kind people. I felt amazed and learned so much about a new culture. Notice how each description has time, place, details, feelings, and importance. To make your description stronger, use action verbs like celebrated, enjoyed, visited, explored, watched, joined, danced. And add feeling words like excited, nervous, surprised, happy, proud, scared. For example, instead of saying I went to the park, you could say last Sunday I visited the park near my house. The weather was sunny and many families were there. I walked slowly, enjoyed the fresh air, and felt relaxed. That version is much more interesting. Here's a quick challenge for you. Think of your most recent experience. Maybe it was eating out at a restaurant, watching a movie, or visiting a friend. Now describe it in 4 sentences. Time, place, what happened, and how you felt. This practice will help you tell better stories in English. Now let's put everything together. We have learned how to describe people, places, objects, feelings, and experiences. But how do you combine all of this to describe anything in English naturally? Here's a simple 4-step formula you can always use. Start with the basics. What is it? Who is it? Where is it? Add details. Shape, color, size, situation, or background. Add feelings or opinions. How does it make you feel? What do you think about it? Add something special. A story, a memory, or a comparison. Let me show you an example. Imagine you want to describe your favorite book. The book is called Harry Potter. It's a story about a young boy who goes to a magical school. The book is thick and has a dark cover. When I read it, I feel excited and curious. It's special to me because it was the first English book I ever finished. See how that follows the formula. Basic information, details, feelings, and something special. Another example, your favorite city. My favorite city is Paris. It's big and very old, with many beautiful buildings and streets. I love walking by the river at night because the lights are magical. Paris is special to me because I traveled there with my best friend. And another, your pet. My pet is a small white dog. She has soft fur and big brown eyes. She makes me feel happy every day. She is special because she always waits for me at the door when I come home. By using this structure, you can describe anything in a clear, interesting way. Now, here's your final practice challenge. Pick something important in your life. It could be a person, a place, or an object. Write or say 4 or 5 sentences to describe it using the formula, basics, details, feelings, and something special. This way you won't be stuck when someone asks you to describe something in English. You'll feel ready and confident. Remember, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Every day, try to describe one thing in your life, your breakfast, the weather, a person you meet, or even your mood. This daily practice will slowly make your English natural and fluent. So keep practicing, keep describing, and step by step you will be able to talk about anything in English.